On November 4th, we are bringing New York Fashion Week to Memphis, Tennessee to celebrate Harlem's Fashion Row's 10th anniversary. Your great girlfriend, Brandis Day, will be hosting a day of unique fashion experiences at Claiborne Temple, starting with a Style for Breakfast with Mickey Taylor, a mini fashion conference at 2 p.m., and our 10th anniversary fashion experience at 8 p.m. Great girlfriends, I look forward to seeing you there. Go to www.harlemsfashionrow.com/Memphis for more information. Again, that's www.harlemsfashionrow.com/Memphis.
Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. I am your host, Brandis Daniel.
I'm your co-host, Sybil Amuti.
And we have with us a special guest. I feel like I need a drum roll.
That's a drum roll.
Miss Kim Roxie.
Hi, Kim.
Yes. So excited.
Hey, lovely ladies.
Looking absolutely radiant in this beautiful. What's the color of this lipstick you have on?
I have on rose lipstick for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Rose
Lipstick by Lamique Beauty.
Yes. I'm a dark-skinned girl with pink lipstick. Yes.
And it looks amazing on you. It looks so good. I love it, Kim. Hey, girl.
Hey, I love the fact that you two are so committed to keeping on this girlfriend journey. And you showing other girlfriends, like work through stuff and don't break up all the time. Just stay together, Come on now. She can't just tell you one thing and piss you off and you stop talking to her, Like, I'm sure, y'all have different things, but y'all are together, and that is so encouraging and so inspiring by itself.
Oh, wow. I don't think anybody's ever told us that.
No.
This is a first.
The first one.
Thank you so much, Kim Roxie.
Yes.
I think what's helpful is we both come from tribes of sisters.
Yeah.
So she has two sisters, I have two sisters, and it's sort of plug and play. When you have sisters, you just kind of, it's bigger than just being friends and having like disposable people. It's not even like that.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. See, y'all, you made a valid point, though. I used to always say that with my friends because I always had only child friends. Like, one of my good girlfriends right now is an only child. Growing up, I used to have only child friends, and they used to, like, get all mad and stuff about stuff. And I used to, like, look, I got sisters. I got 3 sisters. After a while, we can cuss each other out, and then we just figure it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just the way it is,
And then you go eat, and it's like, it's over.
Call it a day.
Nothing's that big of a deal.
It's not.
No, it's not. And also, too, I want to say about girlfriends is actually girlfriends can save your life. So Sybil can save Brandis' life. Brandis can save Sybil's life, because I work with a nonprofit organization called The Rose, and that's what this lipstick is named after, this breast cancer facility. And my mom got her mammogram through this place called The Rose. It's a whole breast cancer facility. They do mammograms, but they have this program where 3 insured women pays for 1 uninsured woman's mammogram. Oh. So they encourage girlfriends to get mammograms together, like 3 insured women maybe who work together or who are just friends, and that will pay for an uninsured woman who can't afford a mammogram to get one.
That's awesome.
I work with this organization, and that's the part of the proceeds from this lipstick is going towards that organization. So directly this is going towards an uninsured woman to get a mammogram. And I've been working with this organization since 2014. My mom was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2012. And in 2014 she passed. But I started working with this organization then, and now we've raised about $150,000 for uninsured women to get mammograms.
Wow. That's so awesome.
Wow.
Girlfriends can save lives.
Absolutely. Wow. I love that.
Absolutely. Kim Roxie, you're so amazing.
I know that's right.
Look, if I'm beaming, I'm just beaming from y'all. That's all.
I love it.
So, look, I feel like we've jumped right in. We usually do pleasantries and figure out what happened over the weekend.
We kind of did, because the annual fundraiser I do for the Rose just happened Sunday. And so that was our big event we do downtown at the theater.
We're downtown, so our girlfriends will know. In Houston.
Okay, so we have the Ensemble Theater, which is the theater of color. That is our long-standing theater there that most of your stars have been through in Houston. It's called the Ensemble Theater. We do our event there because we're raising money for uninsured African-American women, so I wanted to do it at an African-American business. And instead of just sitting up at a luncheon or a gala, we went to the theater so we could also patronize that business as well.
Very good.
I love it.
So Houston's recovery is going well, Kim?
Yeah, Houston's recovery is doing well. We okay, so put it in perspective, we have 6.5 million people in Houston and surrounding areas. Okay, about 120,000 people were directly affected. So you do the percentage.
Yeah.
What's happening now is just neighbors helping neighbors. Everybody's just helping each other, taking care of the ones who did get flooded. We did have, I had some customers that came in. We were closed for about a week. Everybody was like trapped in their home or wherever you were at, you were trapped there. So if you was in somebody else's home or whatever you was doing, you was trapped, okay?
Wow.
And so everybody was trapped for like a week because the flood waters were so high you couldn't travel. And so that happened for about a week. When everybody got released to get back on the road and the waters start to go down, that's when you could find out, who got flooded or what have you. And I remember having one of my customers, because I have a store in Houston, I have a flagship store here, and one of my customers came in, and I'm assuming whoever came in this week, maybe wasn't bothered by the flood. And I asked her, I said, everything okay with your home or what have you? She said, no, Kim, I lost everything. She said, I just came today to come feel better about myself. So I literally came and get my eyebrows done, because we do those kind of services here. She said, I just came to get my eyebrows done just to feel better about myself. So I didn't leave her there, right? So
I know you didn't.
When she told me she lost everything, I know her daughter is disabled. She has a daughter that's on disability. I took her in my back room and we got her resources right then. I mean, we got resources done right then. I had people with apartment on the phone, everything. So we're all just like helping each other. That's what we're doing right now.
I love it. I love it. That's so good to hear.
Yeah.
It's so good to hear. Oh my goodness. So that's a big part of who you are, Kim, which is how I came to know you, as you've been such a supporter of the What Women Want conference for for the past 2 years, like it's been a 10-year conference, but
since we've been in existence.
Inception, right?
Since inception, yes.
You've been a supporter, and this year you were able to be there in person, which was fantastic.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Yes.
It was amazing. I was telling our friends at Prudential how fabulous y'all had that Prudential Center looking with those women in there and on that terrace and all that beautiful stuff y'all had going on. Yeah.
Wow.
The girlfriend, you didn't know you could birth something with a girlfriend. See, we always think we birthing things with men. See, you get you a good girlfriend, you can birth you a conference, you can birth a podcast, everything.
You better preach.
In my offering.
Girl, you better preach. But isn't it true, though? You get on your mission and all the right people line up.
Yes. Because y'all had, because I was like starstruck because y'all had Sherry there, the author. I love her. Like, that's like life to me. I love her. Y'all had some people in there. Like, the women y'all had, what I loved about the women y'all had was you had to be somewhat woke to know the women that y'all had there.
Oh, that's so good.
Y'all didn't just have like some names just to be dropping names. Y'all had some women that have some real wisdom. It was off the chain. I love it.
I mean, Kim, Roxie, that is actually, so that does our heart good because that is literally, as we're thinking about speakers for our conference, we are literally like, but who has a real heart for women? Who is doing this because, who would do this if they weren't getting paid a thing?
Yeah.
Who is doing this because this is just who they are as a person? And so whatever they give at the conference is just kind of like, it's flowing right out of who they actually are. And so we are so intentional about our speakers.
Yeah, absolutely. We put a lot of consciousness behind it, and we think on it, and we war over it, and we go back and forth. So every single one of those women were handpicked for a significant reason to us. And then to hear the participants walk away and say that they each gained something significant from every speaker, it validated the reason why we picked the speakers the way we do.
And then of course they all look so beautiful wearing with their Lamique beauty, their Lamique beauty makeup. over.
Absolutely.
No, Kim, you don't understand. Like, for me for us to be able to like send you a brief email and say, hey, will you support this conference by, doing our speakers' makeup? And every time we did that, you barely asked where the conference was. Yeah. You were like, absolutely, Lamique Beauty will be there. So, that means the world to us.
Yeah. It's one of those things where when you trust, the source, then you don't have to, I trust in God, for instance, right? And so when I trust that, a lot of times when my doubt does come, I have to go back, wait, hold on, I trust this. I trust the source that it comes from. So when you guys ask me to do something, when Brandis asked me to do something, when Sybil asked me to do something, I trust the source. So I don't have to, go and try to, I'll let y'all do all that. That's too much stress and other stuff to me. I mean, I just trust the source, and so I think that you guys give us an opportunity to interface with some wonderful women. Lamique stands for Love and Makeup in Kindness. And love and kindness is really what we're made of. A lot of times I almost go into a meditation moment when I think about that, because what happens is, if you think about it, your love and kindness is your makeup, because your beauty is revealed and not applied. What happens is I center in on my beauty then. Now, everything I do, I'm not even worried about a freckle. I'm not worried about a pimple. I'm not worried about none of that. Like, literally, I need to go outside. I need to reveal my beauty. Everything that I do, I'm revealing my beauty. And that conference just kind of reiterates that. So I know, like I said, trusting the source and then allowing what we do to flow in. And all of your speakers love the makeup and they love what we stood for. So that's just pretty amazing.
So let me say this. So let's start back. So I met you, I don't know, I can't remember who introduced us, but I don't know, maybe 5 years ago we met. But I remember us sitting down, though, at the Renaissance Hotel and me hearing finally your full story. Yeah. And I was like, what? So you have to dig. I want you to go back. Right now, we're in a series, Against All Odds, and I feel like your story exemplifies that perfectly. And so I want you to go back to when you first started this brand and where you were as a woman, as a person, and kind of like, how did you come up with this idea and what were your first steps?
So I got to go back just a little bit further, because you got to understand my mindset to even get me to where I was, like you said, as a woman there. Oh my gosh, my heart is beating so fast. Because, wow, I was kicked out of high school. I remember when I had to go to alternative school. And the only person who told me I was going to be okay was my mom. And I was so embarrassed. I was so frustrated. Because up until that point, I had been a classical pianist. I was a cheerleader, a lot of stuff. But not having the right girlfriends. And I got kicked out of high school. I made some bad choices on my own. And I remember them telling me, you're not going to be able to go to college. These are like teachers telling me this. These are like administrators. These are like principals. I feel like at that point I was against all odds. I was pretty much dismissed after I felt like I had done such hard work. And so my compassion and towards women and girls comes from there. So when you've been dismissed and kicked out and kind of like, looked over or what have you, I remember just being at that alternative school and saying to myself, no, I got to make it for myself, basically. And I think that's when it all came about. From there, I said I was going to Atlanta to go to college, so I went to Clark Atlanta University. I wanted to get far away from Houston because Houston had turned their back on me. And so I went to Clark. I majored in piano because, like I said, I was a classical trained pianist, which my dad pushed me to do and made sure I did. And I did that. And so when I was at Clark, that was my major. I was thinking I was going to be a classical pianist. That's how I was going to prove myself, was to become this, very well accomplished classical pianist. Well, after the first year of being at college, I realized when you're a music major, you take way more classes than a regular major. So I'm taking like 8, 10 different classes. I'm in class all day, all night. I realized when I got that acceptance letter to Clark, my mom said, we're going to have to take out loans. My dad was like, okay. My mom just always let me just go. She just believed whatever. She just like, go ahead, baby, go ahead. So we went anyway. Finally, it got to the point I couldn't afford to be there. So I had to go get a job. I got a job, caught a bus from my dorm room, took me an hour on the train. Anybody know Atlanta? We got the MARTA. Mm-hmm. Took me an hour on the train. Then I had to catch a bus for another 45 minutes to get to this job where I would work in the evenings and work all night. And then a couple good girlfriends would meet me at the train station on my way back home because it was a dark alley that we would have to walk past. Mm-hmm. If you know HBCUs, they're in the hood. Mm-hmm. So we were in the hood in Atlanta, Southwest Atlanta, the SWATs. And so a couple of my good girlfriends would meet me and, walk me back home after work or what have you, back to our dorm. I did that for a while. When I had to, my second year, move off campus, I had to get another job somewhere else because at that point it was about to be a 3-hour process to get their transportation. So my friend said they hiring at the mall. So I went to the mall. I'm thinking I'm going to get a job at Foot Locker, pay less, something. She was like, oh, that makeup counter. I said, when have you ever seen me put on makeup? She was like, well, they say they're hiring. And you know how you are when you're young. You just go into the mall looking for a job. I said, okay, I'm just going to apply. Well, they hired me. My first day on the job, they say, Kim, you're going to have to put on makeup. And I was like, oh, yeah, no problem. Me just trying to act like I knew something. So I put on some makeup. I'm just like, oh, Lord. I just put on some makeup. But about a month in working there, they were like, wait, your sales goal, you beating the manager. What are you telling these ladies to sell this makeup? You don't even call yourself a makeup artist. Like, what are you doing? And I said, well, I love women. Like, I got into this not knowing nothing, not even knowing how to apply makeup, how to put anything on, didn't know which brush went for what. I was like, but once I started to get into it, I started to pay attention, looking at other people, and it started to flow with me naturally. I was like, I love women. I love their reaction. I like talking to them. I like finding out about them. I like making them feel good about themselves. I was like, you listen to my coworkers, they saying what time they get off of work. I'll be in here all day on Saturday, whatever it is. And so I just started to do that. And I kind of compare it to, if anybody knows music, I play the piano, I read music. So I know how to play the piano when I read. Some people play by ear. Mm-hmm. I do makeup by ear. If you So for me, doing that just came natural. Like, that's not anything I was trained on or anything like that. Now I train people and all that kind of stuff because now it just comes natural for me. And so I did that. I started that my sophomore year, junior year, senior year, hit with the dark reality of what you're going to be when you grow up. And
that's
so I was like,
that's
and
the
like
question.
you said, the dark reality of like, okay, life is about to happen in June. What you got? What's your plan?
What you gonna be?
People literally hold that question until your senior year of college. Well, your senior year of high school, they just want to know, okay, so what's your plan? What school are you going to?
Yeah.
So it's pressure then, but it's a whole different pressure your senior year of college, because then you're not going to college. You're going to life. You're going to do life.
Life University begins.
Life University begins, and everybody asks you the same question. And if you go to a school far off, or you go to somewhere, the expectations are pretty high.
Yeah.
If you got student loans, the expectation is pretty high.
Yes.
So I was like, OMG. So I remember being like, okay, well, I'm gonna start applying for jobs. Well, I started applying for jobs, no callbacks. Then I started talking to people because I was so focused in on working and going to school. That was it. I started talking to people. They said, "Oh, you never had an internship? Internship? I ain't time to have an internship." And so then when you fill out your application, experience. When I had time to have some experience in this field, so I got hit with the reality that I could not get a job in my field. I have a degree in public relations communications. And so I was like, OMG, what am I going to do? So I had my, what you would call, come to Jesus moment. And I literally prayed and was just thinking, like, God, you got to answer me on this, because I can't, my daddy, if you know my daddy, I can't go back home and tell my daddy I don't have no job. So I said, if I had my come to Jesus moment, and literally, y'all just flow with me right here. Close your eyes for a minute. Close your eyes for a minute. Even if you're listening, close your eyes. Think about, again, a girl against all odds. You're thinking about what you're going to do. And all of us can identify with this, because a lot of times in our life, we get at a crossroads. And, we're looking for some type of revelation to show us where we go next. And literally the lights were off in my life. That's the reason why I'm asking you to close your eyes, because I want you to feel the darkness. Okay, everybody open up your eyes. Literally the lights came on after my prayer one time. And I saw Lamique. And I went to Michael's or whatever that little craft store was and got me some letters with Lamique and put it on my college apartment wall, Lamique on my wall. And I literally started to work towards Lamique. And Lamique was making a makeup line that actually made every woman feel beautiful, know she was beautiful, that could empower her, that could actually be a beauty mechanism. Like, it's finally beauty that answered the question of how to be beautiful. And so I started to make this line. I wanted more natural ingredients. I wanted things that were safer for us to use, because as I started to investigate, I realized we were using some of everything on our face, polyisobutane, parabens, all kind of stuff. And I said I wanted something better than that. But I started my Wendy's diet. So Wendy's got a good old 99-cent menu, okay? So, it was a good one, baby. It was a good one. Get you a baked potato with some chives and some butter, and you can get you a...
Oh, my God. I could collapse right now, because when I was in college in the 90s,
that was it.
Man, when that 99-cent menu hit at Wendy's...
It answered so many prayers and questions.
That Wendy's menu, honey. I went in on that Wendy's menu, okay?
Man, you
and
take $5, you can get a
But I was like, I can only eat $2 a day. $2 a day.
Wow.
And I saved up $9,500. And my mom was my only investor. She gave me $500. And I had my $10,000. I did a budget for how much it was going to cost for me to open up a store in Houston. And so I came down to Houston. I flew down to Houston to come and meet with the leasing agent. I had already talked to him on the phone. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go down there, sign my lease. I knew which mall I wanted to be at. If anybody's listening, if you know, Sharpstown Mall in Houston was a very popular mall at the time. I said, I'm going to go there and go open up my store. Well, I went there. The lady, the leasing agent, a pretty black woman, okay? So you thinking black woman, it's like my auntie. She going to be good to me. Auntie did not want to lease me the space. So Auntie told me no. Okay. I was like, okay, so Auntie, okay, you saying no. She like, well, she just gave me like these try to put up different boundaries. I was like, okay, all right, Auntie. So I left. I was like, okay. Went back to Atlanta. Came on back the second time. I said, all right, I didn't think I'd have worked on Auntie enough. And I didn't talk to the receptionist. Receptionist was another younger black woman. I said, I'm trying to, okay, I'm going to be good. I'm going to come back the second time. I say, this time we're going to get it. We're going to get it right. Come on, Auntie. Go back in there again. Auntie say no. I said, Auntie, now I got to call her Auntie. Auntie, now I didn't flew all the way down here from Atlanta. Okay, I'm on the last little bit of my money, okay? Now, why can't you rent me a space in this mall? Auntie say, well, you look like a kid. You don't look like, you don't have any experience. You never had a store before. All these different things. Come to find out, her and the receptionist had been talking. I could tell by they was talking. Her and the receptionist got together. I said, okay, I got it. I see what's going on here. I said, So, Auntie, you got about 5 vacant stores in this mall. You just gonna keep just letting them be vacant, not gonna make no money off of them? Well, we don't have time to play, to take chances with people. I said, Auntie, I can't leave because you have no valid reason why to not rent to me in this mall. She said, you know what? I'm going to get the owner of the mall. I don't have time for this. What'd she do that for? She probably blessed me. She went and got the owner of the mall. She went and got the owner of the mall. He came inside the office and he was like, what you trying to do, kiddo? Call me a kiddo. I said, well, I want to lease a space inside of this mall. I said, you got some vacant spaces here, and I feel like what I'm bringing here is totally different from what's happening, and I can really help this mall. I can be here, and I can sell well. I'll be here. He said, well, I'm going to put you in a certain part of the mall we call Asia, because the other part of the mall is America. Asia is all the way over there, and nobody goes over there, and so then you'll just be out of the way. I said, fine. That's with me. So I rented that space. I opened up the gate, right? I remember doing it. I only budgeted for how much it took to open up the space with products and all that. I didn't budget next month rent, none of that kind of stuff. So I remember opening it up and being like, hey, all right, looking for a customer. Remember, they put me in Asia. Wasn't no customers passing by my store. So I had to walk down to America. I walked all the way down to America to the food court, and I would literally take a lady by the hand and talk her all the way down to my store.
Wow.
I would talk her all the way back to Asia. I said, come on, girl, we going to Asia, but how you doing today? I talked to her. I said, I got some pretty I'm telling you, when you get over here and you see this. So I would talk her all the way down to Asia. And that's how I built up my customer base and my clientele. And after 3 months in being in Asia, he came by and he said, you really making this work, aren't you? I said, yeah, yeah, it's fine. Like, yeah, I'm good. He said, well, it's a vacant space down there by Victoria's Secret in America. I think you want to go down there? I said, yes, I think I will. I think I'll take that ride down there. So I moved my space down there, and I stayed inside of that mall for like 4 years. Moments like that really define who you are, and being there and having that experience, I wouldn't take it away for anything. But that's kind of where I started from and where my humble beginnings come from.
Yes. Wow.
I love that.
Now, you do know that you left out, how did you even make this makeup? Like, where in the world did the makeup come from?
So to be honest with you, that was, so the makeup has always came from faith. So what happened was I researched about this cosmetic show. So I said, okay, I'm saving up my money. Okay, just think about it. To a college kid, $9,000 is a lot of money to us, right? So we thinking I can make something happen with that. Like I can get some $5,000. I'm gonna make me some makeup. And I remember researching this show because I had already looked up ingredients. I had started doing stuff in my house, but I got to make it so it's commercially done. It's ready. So I think I'm gonna go to this cosmetic show in New York. So I went down to the Jacob Javits Convention Center and everything while I was still in college. And I went down there on a weekend thinking I'm going to go to this show and, meet me a manufacturer, get something popping. Baby, boom. I got there. The people couldn't even talk. Look, all those manufacturers, they was from all over the world. They talking to me in whatever language. When I told them how much money they had, they looked at me like, no. Get away. What are you talking about? No.
Because you have the audacity to say the number because you think it's a good amount.
I think it's a good amount. Good. Like, that's probably what I see.
And they're like, what is she?
500 units. I mean, what is wrong with that? People looking at me like 500,000 units. Like, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh, well. So, little to say, my little light had dimmed. I went in there shining, feeling good about myself. By the time I was ready to get out of there, I was like, oh, Lord. So I remember going to one manufacturer, and I said, yeah, I want to do maybe 100 of these. Like, people laughed at me, told somebody else in the booth, they laughing. They say, no, we cannot do that. We can't work with you. We don't have anything. Ma'am, get back with us when you get something. And it was a guy, he tapped me on my shoulder and he gave me his card. And he said, and he really didn't say anything. He just looked at me like, call me, like, that's for you. And I said, okay. So I just took his card. Right now I'm frustrated because I done came all the way down here. Remember, I'm budgeting my little money. I done came down here to New York to stay with my homegirl in her place in a girlfriend's house just to come here to this show, and now I'm not getting nothing accomplished. So I go back to her apartment. I'm frustrated as heck. I'm like, man, I'm like, God, I thought we was together on this. Like, I thought you led me out here. I don't know what's going on, right? So I get to her apartment. I'm like, okay, I'm about to get ready to go catch my flight the next morning. But I go through my bag. I look at the card. It said chemist on it. So I said, okay. So I call up the number, call a guy. He said, yeah, I heard you over there talking to some of the manufacturers. And he was like, yeah, they work with big clients, big guys, this and that. And I said, yeah, I learned that. I didn't know that before, And he said, oh. And I said, where? And before I even, you know how this seems interesting, but you don't want to get your hopes up high because you just don't know if it's going to work. So I looked at what time he said. I looked at what city he lived in. He lived in New Jersey, in Newark. And I said, where do you live? He said, Newark. I said, well, we probably shouldn't even continue this conversation. I said, because I live in Houston. He said, Houston? I said, yeah, Houston. He said, it's funny you say that. I go to Houston in 2 weeks to go meet with a client that I have out of Mexico, and we're going to meet in Houston. I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, well, I can do that. I can do it. And so then we ended up making up an appointment to meet in Houston. He did live in New Jersey, but when he came, he brought some things. He had a friend out there in Houston with a lab. This man showed me how to make makeup. He's a mentor to me, actually. He was a chemist for Estee Lauder for about 25, 30 years.
Wow.
He retired. He started my makeup line. He's who I made my makeup line with initially. And but now one of his co-workers that he retired with lives here in Houston, and that's where I contract, manufacture all my products out of that lab. But
in America.
Say it again.
So your product is made in America?
Yes.
I love it.
Yes, it's made in America. Literally, like I probably go to the lab later today. Like we actually make most of this makeup right here in Houston. And so I would have never known that. I would have never known I was going to go to New York and meet a chemist. And I didn't know that.
Yeah. Kim, what did you learn being against the odds?
Grit.
Mm-hmm.
I learned grit. I learned that I learned compassion. Mm-hmm. I learned how to treat people. I treat everybody like they're Michelle Obama. Mm-hmm. That's just kind of my mindset. Like it just being against all odds. I always know what it's like to be the underdog. I still feel like the underdog in a lot of ways. So just keeping that mindset, that mentality, that's what it taught me. It taught me love. It taught me kindness. It really worked me into being able to reveal my beauty as well. Mm-hmm. And so that type of like belief and having faith and like, even though this might seem like a setback or this might it's actually going to propel you because you got to reach other people. It's not about you, Kim. It's really about everybody else, because I didn't tell you the part that when I opened up my store at Sharpstown Mall, maybe this was within the 3 months, because I remember being in Asia and part of the mall. I got a letter in the mail that said, our students want to be your profession. Can you come to our career day? I looked at the letter. I said, oh, okay. Yeah, that seems like something I want to do. So I called a number back, called a lady. She said, okay, we want to confirm you. I said, okay. I remember getting the address, and I said, okay. And I got the address, and I said, wait, this address looked familiar. So when I'm driving to the career day, I drive up. This is the alternative school I went to.
Wow.
I get to the alternative school. I'm like walking in, I'm just like in a foggy daze at this point. I'm like, is this a setup? What is this? And so I get in there. They didn't even know I went to that school before.
Wow.
I get there. The students, when I'm just like, did somebody tell, the people looking at me like, no, like, you know, we heard about this makeup store in the mall, and, you know, they just were excited for me being here. And I'm like,
my goodness.
I went here. Like, I remember this. Like,
I know that must have blew them away.
Absolutely.
It's almost set up like a juvenile, like, because you can only go in a certain area. It's like, I'm like, I remember. And so the kids opened up to me so much.
Mm-hmm.
When they found out I went there. And these, you know, because by the time you're in high school, you know, you don't listen to people. You're like, you're doing your thing, you know. And so they were just like, when I said I went there, the students just, their whole, it went totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, OMG.
Wow.
And that's when I knew that against all odds, it's really for someone else as well, because everybody's not going to just, you know, go to path. Sometimes we like to play the victim. I made some bad choices. I'm not going to sit up and act like, you know, I just did everything right and somebody did something to me, you know, all the time, you know. And sometimes we make bad choices. Sometimes you're against all odds because of your own choices. Sometimes you're against all odds because, you know, you're just not, you know, maybe raised in the right family. All these kind of different things going on in your life. But still you can push through. Yeah. And it end up where it can end up helping somebody else who nobody else could reach them, but because of your background, you could.
Mm-hmm. You know what's so interesting? And throughout this series, we've had some amazing women on. I hope everyone gets a chance, girlfriends, to go back and listen through. But every single woman, you know, I can hear the same thing. They're on a mission. Mm-hmm. They were just on a mission, and they were so committed to the mission that the odds couldn't stop them. And it's like with you, I don't even know if you sought out to be an entrepreneur as much as you saw. I don't think that was like this is a you should see her face right now, girlfriend. She's like, no. Yeah. But she had a mission in mind, and that was birthed out of her. And the benefit of it is that you get to go back and go full circle before those youth. You get to go out and do charity. You get to express beauty in so many different ways that are authentic to you. And you get to actually teach the truth behind who you are and what God can do with you if you allow it. I think we saw this with Eva, who is out the week before. We saw this with Patrice Washington. I mean, we've seen this over and over. Every single person we speak with, every guest we've had, when we listen through their story, they were so determined to make sure that their mission was fulfilled, that they wouldn't allow the odds or they wouldn't allow, you know, adversity to pull them down. And I think that's so important that our girlfriends can take away. It's like other people don't put that in you. You have to have that on the inside, and you have to be determined to release it to the world. And I mean, like, as I'm listening through you, Kim, I'm just, all I hear is this woman who's like, okay, what's the door? Okay, I need to get through that door. Okay, bet. All right, what I got to do? It's that determination was just, that's on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's almost like what we say, unstoppable. Yeah. Because I've had so many stop signs, and I still got them coming up. And I'm still going to push through this thing, because it's always 20 years from now how the story is told.
Yes.
Right now we live in this thing.
Yes.
Right now we live in this thing. Yeah. But 20 years from now, when Sky, when your beautiful children, Sybil, that I saw, you know, 20 years from now, what are they going to say? What is Loretta? What is my baby going to say? You know, what is she going to see from that? You know? So we got to live this thing right now. Yeah. Got to live it right now. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Kim, you're so anointed to change lives, and I like your passion and your fire. It's just phenomenal. And, you know, a couple of things that I hear, yes, you have a business. Yes, you have a child. Yes, you have these things going on, but charity still matters to you. Making sure that the message resonates and making sure that you represent women in every way. Like when you were,
she's always doing something.
Yeah.
Always.
I mean, meeting you at the conference, I was like, oh, she's actually coming. Oh, okay. and your heart, and you were in there with, like everybody else, learning and growing and connecting. And I, you know, that's so sincere.
Yeah. That's the place, you know, that I operate from. And all I can do is continue to stay there, stay low, stay pure, because I believe to really continue to be able to reveal the beauty of women, I got to stay there. I got to stay there because to really actually get that out of others, because that's what I saw in the beauty industry a lot of times, is that women would be intimidated to go to a makeup counter because the person who's doing your makeup thinking they higher, better, look greater than you, and they gonna make you beautiful. No,
that's my story.
Yeah.
Intimidated by the counters. I would walk by and I'd be like, I can't. Because they always I always felt like they were trying to make me something I wasn't, instead of just allowing me to be who I am. Like, your approach is so different.
Very different.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at, is because it's like you're not making anything. You're revealing everything. Mm-hmm. So that's what we are.
Kim, come on through.
I'm telling you. My heart is just so full. Like, so there's somebody who wants to start something, who wants to do something, and had you stopped even at the place when, if you hadn't called that card, how many of us get business cards? And I'm guilty of it too. But how many of us get business cards and we never follow up with that person?
Yeah.
You know, how many of us get told no? You know, the person at the leasing office tell us no, and we say, okay, well, you know what I mean? But to have the audacity to go back, and then to have the audacity to say, well, I'm not leaving because you haven't even given me a good reason to leave. Yeah. Right? Most people don't look for, if you tell me no, the answer is no. I'm not saying, well, that's not a good reason to say no, so I'm not leaving.
I need the justification for that no.
Right.
No, escalate me. Give me to the owner.
So let's get behind that, you know. And it's funny because right now I'm hearing some no's, and I'm literally, hopefully 5 years from now or something, you know, we'll have another conversation, and I'll be able to talk about what was going on in 2017 that I was hearing no's on.
Yes.
You know, that I'll be able to, you know, have some type of testimony for, right? But it's when you're in business, it's like this continual thing. As you grow, you know, you're going to hear no's again. It's not always like, now I'm just unleashed to everything. You're still going to hit those things, and you still got to get past them. But what I try to do is, Brandis and Sybil, is keep my 21-year-old mindset. I was so hungry. I stay in that hungry. That's what I'm talking about. Staying in that hungry, humble type of mindset, honest type of mindset, to where I can continue to flow in that, and then I can continue to grow from there because I'm still hungry. I'm still wanting more. I'm still, you know, and yeah, that's helping me to push through now.
Yeah, but you said another key word was your mindset. You have a sharp mindset. You're astute around what you're doing. So it's very clear to you that it's not about whether or not it's going to happen. The how might be the part that you unveil day by day. I mean, that you unveil day by day, but whether or not it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Kim Roxie has decided it's going to happen, be it in Asia or be it in America.
Right, right. Isn't it going to be interesting one day when you're actually in Asia?
Oh my goodness.
And you'll say, this is my second time around in Asia.
I've been to Asia before.
Exactly. I'll be like, yes, I'm here by choice. Yes, we're over here.
Wow.
So, Kim, let's get our girlfriends onto that website so they can start purchasing their favorite products.
Yes. So our website is lamiquebeauty.com. Just remember, love and makeup in kindness, LAMIK. Beauty.com. You can go to our website. We have lipstick on there. We have foundation. We have our mineral powder. If you have a question about what shade you wear, because we do have a shade for you, if you have a question, just send us a picture to our email, to our contact that's on there, and one of our beauty experts will literally just match you up. And a lot of times we can match up through pictures, so we can either send like two samples of the colors that we think you are, and then you can try it out and then see which one, and then you can order the full one. And then as well as we have blush, we have eyeshadow, and I would just, I encourage people to go to our website because, as you can tell, what we stand for, and then also the things that we do. We literally, have done things that larger companies could afford to do way bigger, way more, but they don't even do it at all. So our effort of doing something is helping the greater magnitude.
Absolutely.
So I would encourage people to shop Lamique because of that, because of our commitment to women, and because of our commitment to women's issues. And me being a woman of color, the beauty industry is not easy on me at all. And I'm pushing through, being unstoppable, but it's not easy. It's just not easy. And so I just would encourage women to do that. And women of color, we're exposed to more chemicals than any other sector of women in the beauty industry. A report just came out about this. And the fact that you can have makeup that's paraben-free and talc-free and lipsticks that are gluten-free, I would highly recommend it for you. I'm a licensed esthetician. And dermatologists recommend our makeup to their clients and to their customers as well. But every day we're always trying to figure out a way to make the makeup better and better. And the fact that my lab is here in Houston, I'm always working on that.
Love it.
I remember that being one of the things, like for you to be so young, have a certain amount of money, but to still say, I don't want any of those things that aren't good for our skin in the makeup, and being so specific about what you wanted. Kim, we have great girlfriends of all colors, of all races, of all ethnicities. Who is your makeup for?
Our makeup is for all women. So I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna let people in on this little secret because it seems to be like one. If you make makeup for women of color, you make makeup for all women. Mm-hmm. So if you ever hear me say somewhere, or you see our makeup in certain magazines like Essence and Ebony, don't ever get caught off guard and think, oh, that's just for women of color. If it's for women of color, it's for all women. Because you have women that are albino, who have no pigment, who are pale, who are very, very fair, who I have to make makeup for, all the way to the woman from Senegal, where the skin is very dark. So I make makeup from that range, all the way from true white, all the way to true black, really. Mm-hmm. And that's what I have to do. And so our makeup is for all women because we carry that whole spectrum of colors for all women. I had a woman just the other week buy makeup, and she has the same skin disease Michael Jackson had. So she has no pigment in her skin, and our M19, which is our lightest shade, it was perfect on her. She was so happy. She was like, she go to most makeup counters, and they don't have a color that's light enough for her.
Yeah, that's vitiligo. Yeah. My mom has vitiligo. Yeah. And you see it more, and now it's way more prevalent. Very common. Yeah, it used to be 3% of the population, and now it has rapidly increased.
Yeah,
it has. Yeah. So Kim, we thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you for being who you are and for sharing who you are with the world and our great girlfriends.
Thank you for seeing the opportunity for me to be here, and thank you for seeing the beauty in me to allow me to be here. Brandis, you hold a special place in my heart, and I appreciate all of the times that we've been able to work together, and you've allowed me to come on board to do things with your fabulous organizations. And Sybil, when I met you, you just like this goddess. I was like, oh my God. Be like that when I grew up. But, so I appreciate you too. And like I said at the beginning, your girlfriend approach is absolutely transforming, and it's revealing the beauty of women as well.
I love it. Thank you, Kim. Well, we want to close out now. We always close with thanking our husbands. Kwaku, I love you.
Yes. And Rich Daniel, who, when this releases, he would have celebrated a birthday about a week ago, and we're probably coming up on Sky's birthday, right?
Yes, we're coming up on
this releases. So I want to say happy belated birthday. Of course, I say happy birthday to him. But happy birthday to him. Yeah. And so I'm so grateful for him.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
And happy birthday to Miss Sky Grace.
Sky Grace. And can I say a shout out to my hubby?
Of course.
Happy best husband in the world day. That will be every single day. Aww. To my beloved husband, because I'm gonna tell you, we have to do a show later. Whenever y'all get a series on entrepreneurial women with the right man, okay, I need to be on that one because I literally did not choose him. My mom, before she passed, shuffled me to him. Uh-huh. She saw it. She told me. She said, Kim, that's it. And he is the most supportive, loving person. And I'm really, really grateful to have him in my life. So I just want to give a shout out to Kim Roxie's husband.
Okay, Kim Roxie's husband. What can we get the brother's name? Can we get Mr. Roxie?
Kim Roxie's husband.
Kim Roxie's husband. All right. Yes, and we always love to thank our kids. So Sam and Dylan, thank you so much for being so supportive. They really are.
And I just shouted out Miss Sky.
We love Miss Sky and Miss Loretta, who's followed up right by Sky. Her birthday's
Oh, so good. I would love to see a picture of her. And then, great girlfriends, thank you for trusting us as your go-to source for everything life, love, and laughter. Make sure you listen every Wednesday on iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Bean, Podcast Republic, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and every other podcasting service.
Absolutely. And please do follow us and interact with us on our social, on our Instagram,
The Great Girlfriends,
on Twitter,
_great_GFS,
on Facebook,
The Great Girlfriends.
and please join our Facebook group where you can interact with over 16,000 great girlfriends.
Woo! Make sure you post your iTunes review, you post your questions online, you share with your friends. Keep listening and keep being a great girlfriend. I'm Sybil.
I'm Brandis.
I'm Kim Roxie.
And we're signing off. Peace.